Hello, boys, babes, and all of you beans in between. Welcome back. What is up, and how are you? Guess what? You can probably tell from my skin that something is a little bit different today. I have a bee on my face, or on my head, instead of a red panda. So, let me tell you what we have been up to. Why does it always go in the wrong spot? There we go. So, in the interim of video making, I did some streaming. And in this mod pack, we have a lovely mod called the Bumble Zone. In the Bumble Zone, there are some pretty cool stuff. And one of which are rideable bees. This is my friend. I have named it Dinnerbone. I haven't given it an actual name yet, but we named it Dinnerbone because it's funny. But you can ride bees. Oop. And I accidentally put mine in the ceiling, but it's fine. Here, hold on. Let me get her down. That was not the plan. Okay, hold on. Hit. There we go. But you can catch these things out in the Bumble Zone, and they're so cool, and you can also get pollen, and you can get all sorts of other nifty things, and there's like certain types of honeycomb that will hold honey. But we made a friend, and that's why I'm in this funky little yellow costume that was made by one of my lovely community members, Crimson Phantom. Super awesome person, makes some super cool skins. But that's not why we're here today. I just wanted to share my friend and why I'm in the lovely color of yellow instead of my usual red. So, let's go back over here where we are actually doing a whole heck of a lot of work, and the bees staying over there until I have an actual safe place for them to go. But if you don't remember this lovely contraption from last episode, I have been working. We did some stuff on stream, and we also did some stuff off camera entirely. And I have begun to incorporate all of the main contraptions I need for this place to be functional and useful to me. One of which is 3 grindstones, because why not? Why not have 3 grindstones? I think everyone can use 3 grindstones. Just cause. But in addition to that, I've also made a thing. This makes the big cogwheels. This one makes little cogwheels. This one makes the andesite casings and can also make the brass casings if I wanted to. In addition to that, we also have up here some presses, some mixers, mechanical mixers, and I have just begun. This thing is also here, so I can do giant crafting things. But then we also have our little fan system. I haven't finished this one up. This one will be a soul flame. This one's just water. This one will be lava. This one will just be fire. But we have all of it. This is all here. This is all things we're able to do. And this is only the 2nd floor. We also have an entire 3rd floor up above this that is entirely available for our usage. And I gotta find a way to cover that nicely. But we have so much space to do so many things. And mind you, we're not putting all of our farms in here. We're just putting some small stuff in here. But it's all in here. And it's looking pretty cool. The other thing is, I ripped the top of a mountain off. Mind you, this wasn't a full mountain. This was only like a little ridge, and it came up to like where that is. But we tore it all off. That's why the drill's over here. Because we're going to start actually setting up a full base over here, which will be having our primary storage system, which will be where the trains come to and from to pick up and drop things off. And it will be where we are just base of action for everything. However, in the process of this monstrosity, I have been doing some designing for it, and the current concept for it is a steampunk fantasy kind of cyberpunk mix elven castle. Now, what that means, I am still very unsure because I am still designing that, but I do know for sure that the color scheme is going to be similar to what we are currently using for that bridge, in addition to pulling in some of the color from, hold on, I'm going to tear all this out real quick, from our other house just over here. So we'll be using a mix of that color scheme from about that point up and some of that color scheme. Now, I don't think we'll be using the rhyodite that I use in the roof at all. That'll just be for roofs and of houses that are up on this cliffside. But I am definitely leaning towards having some of, obviously, a ton of copper, a whole bunch of this lovely block, the Ezerine, and then a mix of the tough the andesite. I love the color of this andesite, honestly. And then a whole bunch of calcite, diorite, and obviously more copper. So we'll be playing with that and figuring out how that's going to work for us, because it honestly is going to be massive. The design images I've been pulling from other places online are not even scratching the surface for how big I want this thing to be. Mind you, I cleared out only this part. This will be the first part. The concept for the trains, I'm honestly considering just doing it underneath this. So I think I'm going to end up tearing out even more. Hold on, we have a magic button. I think I'm going to end up tearing out even more from this top of this mountain section, and not this part, but we're going to carve through that section and have some sort of train station built in underneath in this cliffside. Mind you, I think we're going to also have like a cool bridge that runs across here, but it's also going to have some space in there because there's a variety of caves I didn't fill in when I was working on here. But that's going to be like the concept for the trains, is then they can run down these hills into other things, or up into the mountains further, or into these cave systems we have back here, which, mind you, these caves are huge. I only started to light them up and I did not get very far because of how big they were and how many mobs were vibing in them at the time. But the concept for the castle is going to be, this is the front main part. We're going to have more back here that'll have some hidden, like, not hidden, but controlled and well tucked away farms, in addition to just being a really massive and super cool looking castle, because I've never actually finished a full castle build. But I just saw that we have friends right over here. Hello, I saw you. Let's see. Nope, we missed. Aha, I got one. Oh good, fall damage killed him. I don't have to worry about the effect. Perfection. We are professional. But that's all of our stuff that we got going on so far, and we have been able to get up to. So, I'm going to hopefully finish clearing out what's still left up here, finish terraforming it so it's still got a nicer grassy look up here, and we're going to start gathering and collecting blocks to knock out the first section of the castle so we can have an actual storage system up here on this mountain. So, I'm gonna get to work, and I will see you guys in just a little bit. With great effort and work, we have a nice, flat, mostly regrown grass area. Mind you, not the prettiest in the world still, but we are definitely going to start mapping out what we are gonna do with the sizes and the shapes that I think I would like to establish with this. I know for sure I really want to incorporate more circle designs. I don't typically incorporate too large of circles with my stuff, but I also don't want to go full circles only, because that makes it boring. So, we are going to have to establish some sort of cylindrical shape that will be our primary entry hall space that we'll work from. And then from there, I'll figure out some sort of, like, side room that's going to be our primary storage space. So, I'm going to get on to getting ourselves an adequately sized circle that at least rivals the mountain a little bit. That's the goal, right? Rival a mountain. Alrighty, now that we've got this area nice and cleaned up with plenty of grass, we're covering the majority of it. I do love this weird little spot that's just not quite savanna, so it's a different grass shade. But now that we've gotten this all filled out, all filled in, we actually ended up using a great mechanic to go ahead and place the grass faster for us, because I got like a third of the way through it and realized, wait, those little pushy hand friends can place the blocks for me. And so I had them running around placing it, which I was pretty proud of. I'm going to start with the bottom couple layers of where I think that this main tower is going to go, and have the floor design that I put in and see how it looks. And then we're going to try and mark out with some wool the other tower shapes and structures that we particularly want around the area to start with. So I'm going to get that going, and we will see how it comes out. Alrighty, we have gotten some stuff and some things, and I went ahead and designed this portion of the floor. Let's go and get a look at it this way. This is what I did. I got distracted. I came back here and was like, okay, what do I have? And this is what we decided on for at least this section, because I need to go get more quartz for sure, because quartz is expensive and a pain in the butt to get. But there it is. It has some lighting. I think it covers all the lighting requirements. If it doesn't, I will be making modifications to it to make sure it does. Someone that I was talking to, who I was showing this build to, and they go, that looks like a bow and arrow, and now I can't unsee it, because I initially wanted it to look like some sort of plant sprout, but no, now I see a bow, and I will never unsee it, so. But yeah, the plan for that is it's going to go on all 4 of these sections. That block right there, actually, is ender block, or literally just a handful of ender pearls turned into a block, but that is what we're looking for here, and this building's gonna be decently tall. That's the plan for it. But beyond that build, there's a couple things I'm gonna want to include for this, and I know for sure I want something coming off of the 3 sides that are not facing out towards the ocean. So I think we're gonna go with something that's coming off in this direction, and we're gonna do these primary section and branches with the cyan color, and I want something that's gonna come out to probably about this point, and it's gonna come back this way, and that looks about right. Yep. And it's gonna be about that size. This is not gonna be a very large piece. I think honestly with this one it's going to be some sort of landing platform that you come in on, like an elytra or with whatever other method, to just kind of crash land in here. And it will probably have a second story, so it'll probably be an open space with 2 columns up on the corners, and then a top, and then some sort of curved roof, I think is my concept. Because I know with this is going to go up about 10 blocks, and then it's going to kind of have a curve in, and then it's going to have an open space up above those 10 blocks. That's also a walkable space up there. So once we get that part done, I think we're going to have another section, similar size, that comes off on this side and goes out 15 to 20 blocks. Putting it about there-ish. Mind you, this is all very rough modeling for what I'm thinking. But we do have this much larger space out here. And so I think we'll have this little section come off, and then it will end up chasing itself all the way back here. But I think instead of being something that cuts off quickly on this side, I think we'll go with another section similar to that shape of a circular piece, but more oblong, ovular, oval-ish shaped. So less perfect circle, more strange dome, egg shape kind of thing. So like something like that. Maybe just a curved wall, honestly, that like cuts into or covers up something maybe. So like bring something around here, and maybe it only comes off of this part of the building, and so then something else cuts back that way. So then we come out. Honestly, it would be kind of cool for it to be just arched at the front and straight line across the back. So then we could have something of that nature that takes up this larger space. I think it would be more of a storage set up in this building, and that would be just more of a showy space over there. I don't think that's wide enough, but concept given-ish, because I did 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Is that 4? 4. And then whatever that is all the way, whoop, not like that. Back down here. I was pretty close. Not exact, pretty close though. But that would then, well, let's go look at it from above. give us at least some sort of arch shape, and then maybe that is the front of the castle itself, and then we could have some sort of detached towers. Because I feel like, for those that have seen my Sleepycraft build, this castle I started there but never finished, I have these detached towers that are not particularly large, but they do get rather tall, and the intention of them was to have larger bridges that would connect them to the main castle that was up on the cliffside. Woo, that's bigger than I want it to be. Do I have a set of shears? I do. Let's use those. It's not any faster than an axe. That is a little faster than the axe. But the concept was then it had bridges that bridged to other parts of the building that had other towers. Never got to finish building it, just because I never got around to finishing it. But the idea is maintained. I want this to be even on this. No, I want that odd. No, odd. Odd is what I meant. Okay. 2, 1, 1, 2. And then, oh, nope. 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. But then these could be like lookout tower situations that lead to balconies that are on the inside, and situations up there, which would allow me to have more unique shapes, kind of like those that continue to have the strong pillar shapes that come up off of it, but like those being periodically and sporadically placed in different places up here on the mountain would be pretty cool in my opinion. And then we could also have some that are lower down on the cliffside, like if we have one right here that is not as big, so like a 3 to 1 to 3 deal. Still obviously a circular tower, still maintaining the nature of it, but also able to be connected to the rest of it. I'm going to need so much diorite that this is not even funny. And andesite. Woo! We're gonna have to find more efficient ways to mine for it. Okay. And then a 3. Oh, not there. 2, 1, 2. So that giving it those different kind of spaces and builds to go around it and give more of depth and separation from the entire thing. I know this is very abstract at this point, but I like the idea. Same thing though in the back, we're going to have something similar, some sort of rectangular piece coming off of back here. I think back here it'd be a little wider, so like maybe coming off of this point, and then it would continue probably up into the mountainside, and it would be what leads you up onto the mountain if we have some bits up there. So something of this nature to give us a variety of shapes and possibly color differences. Okay, that one was at the base of second. Yep. So it needs to go right there. But I think that gives us the baseline shape of what I want to do with it. And I'm not going to be doing this today. Obviously, I'm going to be focusing on getting a little bit more of this shape knocked out, at least getting the floor done in here. But that gives us the outline of our next steps for this build, at least to set up some sort of storage system on that part. I think that this would eventually have more prolonged shape in the back, giving us a little bit more room to work, and then obviously having something continue that way. Not sure what that would be yet, but I think that that is the right steps for us to get going. So I'm going to go work on getting some more components for that floor and hopefully getting the wall built up a little bit so it's a little safer to be inside of there. But I'll bring y'all back in just a bit to show what we get along with. Alrighty, it's nothing particularly special, but it is a shape, it is a form, it gives us something to work with. So obviously not the finished product. I did go design some of the wall design out in my creative world, and I'm not anywhere close to getting it done, just for the sake of timing's sake and getting some of this done. I will be getting the majority of this wall built between episodes, but we now have a shape. We have a generalized color pattern that we're going to be using throughout most of this build. I am going to be needing to do a ton of mining, which means I'll be having a lot of mining streams to get more of this particular block type, because while it's not rare, it is a bit of a pain to find, definitely more difficult to get than diorite or andesite. So we will definitely be looking for more of that, in addition to going to find more of the azurine. We do have a lot more of the azurine than we do of the veridium. So for sure, we will be needing to go and get a bunch more. But I got the floor finished. I think it looks pretty cool. Definitely continues that look, unfortunately, of looking like a bow and arrow, and not what I wanted. But it is what it is, and I don't think it's bad at all. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, long way to go, because we're going to be going out in that direction, this direction, and even further out this way. My hope was to eventually have like some sort of walled-in garden that's going to be over in this little valley area that's surrounded by different parts of the castle. But we shall see. And with the setting sun, let's stop to appreciate a little bit more of this space, as it is now decently lit. I'm going to have to torch it out later, but I do think that this is going to fit the vibe that we were looking for and I was hoping to achieve. And honestly, pretty proud of it so far. Definitely have a long way to go though. So, with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of this color pattern down in the comments. And if you're not already subscribed, do me a favor. Subscribe, hit that like button, and stick around for another episode or two. And I will see you guys next time. Bye now.